Shame on them.
I thank the honourable member for Barker and I call the honourable member for Lawler.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Well, hasn't this MPI set the cat amongst the pigeons? Here I was preparing this afternoon thinking, you know, we might get there and someone on the other side might get up and announce a new policy. I was quite hopeful that perhaps we'd come in here this afternoon, all prepared to talk about $100,000 degrees, to find that they'd been dustbinned. But no, what we've learnt this afternoon is what we knew before we got here. What we've learnt is that while the member for Sturt is busy unleashing his revolutionary, the new minister is hiding the mess left by the Minister for Sturt, the self-proclaimed fixer who's gone off to fix something else.
Move on.
What we've learnt is that they're not throwing out this terrible policy. No. They're not going to stop the cuts to universities. They're not going to stop the $100,000 degrees that they want to foist on the young people in my electorate of Lawler. No, what we've learnt today is they're trudging on with this great policy of theirs. They're trudging on with their unfairness, trudging on with that 2014 budget, trudging on with the cruel, unfair measures from the 2014 budget. New minister, nothing new to see here, though. $100,000 degrees are alive and well, just as we thought, because all we've heard from the new minister, all we've really seen from the new minister is a concession that he couldn't possibly bring the price rises in for 2016 because it had been beaten in the Senate twice and he couldn't put the legislation through a third time. The fixer has been foiled, one might say, and left this mess for the new minister to try and clean up. So rather than come in here today and make an announcement of a new policy, rather than follow Labor lockstep down the road in the year of ideas and give us an idea, they are staying with this policy that has been rejected soundly by the Australian public. I'm trying to remember what month it was last year when the when the petition ticked over 100,000 signatures against the $100,000 degrees. Trying to remember when we ticked over that milestone. These are real numbers. $100,000 is a real number for a degree. It is a real number. Those opposite can persist not to believe what has been put in front of them. But unfortunately, they've got a trust problem when it comes to education. Strangely enough, they've got a trust problem in this area. The deregulation, the cuts to universities, the $100,000 degrees, the Americanisation of our tertiary education system that they tried to sell to the Australian public and tried to push past the Senate twice is still alive for this government. Now, I implore this government, see sense. See sense now before it's too late. Really, what you could do is actually read our policy, because in this era where we need innovation, in this era, and you could take it from the party that understands education, the party that cares about education, the party that will go to the ramparts fighting for fair education for the young people of this country. You could pull out our policy documents, look at our announcements that will tell you how to support students in getting a tertiary qualification. We'll explain to you that rather than create $100,000 degrees, you should actually be reimbursing the HECS of those students who are prepared to study the subjects we need them to study, who are going to drive the new economy. Now, we heard in question time today, I heard the Prime Minister say, we can't rely on iron ore anymore. I heard him say it. Something new that he said. Something new that he said. Invest in higher education. There's a thought. Come up with a new policy. But right now, the public knows today's MPI has proved it. You have no new ideas. You're going to stay with the cruel, unfair measures of the 2014 budget, and you're going to persist with the Americanisation of Australia's universities. That's the plan. That's the plan to date.
Let the market rip.
And they say they understand markets. If they understood markets, they'd know that if you put a 20% cut in place, deregulate and offer offer a business the opportunity to make that up, gee, they'll charge higher fees.
Woohoo!
They'll charge
Order. The
higher
member's
fees.
time has expired.